Oh, God. Who are you? How did you get in my house? Hey. Story time number 6. I had others. I deleted them. Because this sick fucking poster wall wasn't finished yet. And, 2, because I just... Yeah, it's weird. If I don't edit them immediately, I forget what I say, and then I'm like, I don't... So, I'll just re-record them. That being said, this one's a different one. I should clarify. I'm pretty sure the title for this one is going to be Storytime number 6, Coronavirus. But I should make it very clear. I do not have coronavirus. I think. As we're all aware, the U.S. is a third world country. So I can't be sure I don't have it because we don't have enough tests. Nor would it be easy for me to get a test. But I have no symptoms and I'm not sick, like at all. So probably don't have it unless I'm a carrier, in which case, sorry, roommates. But yeah, that's my current state on it. I just thought I'd talk about how it's been for me, because I know you probably want to hear like how the country is affecting it, how the world is affecting it. I'm sure you're vaguely aware of what coronavirus is and how it exists now. But I thought I would share my experience because I'm very narcissistic, and it's important that during these hard times you don't forget about me. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah. So let's go back to the beginning. So coronavirus started... Well, I'm not going to give a history of coronavirus. I'll put it this way. This is how I mark the start of it for me. Is so at work at the beginning of March, either the first or second week, the Friday before, they were like, hey, we're going to try this crazy thing. We're going to try seeing how working from home works. So everyone's going to work from home on Tuesday, okay? Give you all prep time, take whatever you need, or within reason, that's like portable or whatever. And we're going to test it out. We're going to see how it goes. And then we'll come back in on Wednesday. And my boss, who's pretty honest most of the time, was like, it's going to be at least a week. There's no way we just go for Tuesday. And I was like, oh, cool. So I grabbed my shit on Monday night, picked it up, and I was like, let's go. And then, Tuesday came, I worked, and it went fine. I mean, we'll get into my work from home thing in a bit, but by Tuesday afternoon, they were like, hey guys, test is going great. That being said, some concerns are happening, and we're going to extend this until Friday. I think this was around the time, I think Tuesday, Mass declared a state of emergency. So they were like, oh. So I worked from home for the rest of the week, but Thursday night, I can't remember what the address was. I cannot remember what information was revealed. Something happened Thursday night on a national level. It was some fucking announcement Trump made. And it was 10 at night. And I saw that. And I went, from before I was like, oh wow, this is getting kind of serious. I should, see how it develops. Kept a calm, collected mind. To, this can be a whole thing, isn't it? So, I stopped watching, and I was like, I'm going to go now before this gets worse. And I don't mean worse to virus-wise, I mean worse people-wise. And I went to my store that was 24 hours at the time. It's not anymore. And I went and tried to get some supplies, because I was like, this is going to be a fucking madhouse tomorrow. If people were asleep or I'll go tomorrow, I'm going to try and beat this now. So I went, I picked up some, so this pasta was already wiped out. And I want to clarify the levels of preparedness here. If you heard that there was a virus and you immediately went, I need to buy 700 rolls of toilet paper and all of the rice and pasta, I hate you, and you're a stupid fucking idiot. Alright? That's just, let me be completely blunt about that. Now, if you're like me, and you kind of realized, oh no, this is a real thing. Enough evidence had been presented. It wasn't just there's this virus, and then you were like, fucking toilet paper. I'm saying this because I felt guilty, obviously. Because I obviously let some version of panic get to me, where I was like, this is going to be a thing, I should go. And I bought some supplies, I can't remember all of them. But I do remember one. So they had a 4 for 4 deal going, which was buy 4, pay $4 on Pepsi products. I bought 12, and that's the most I've ever bought at once. Like if I go and it's on sale, I'll be like, I'll grab 4, whatever. And then like usually that'll last me a while. Bought 12, and that was a sign that I was like overreacting a little bit. Oh, I also bought 48 Pop-Tarts because they had a 2 for 5 deal on Pop-Tarts, and I just grabbed 4 boxes of brown sugar cinnamon. So yeah, that was the start of it. So that was that Thursday, and even then, I should mention, like, I could see different versions of people. There were people who were there when I got there, who had their carts like half full, who were panicking, but not panicking. And then there were people who came in after me, who had empty carts and were hurrying and rushing, and I was like, I should finish this shit up soon so I can actually get to the fucking register. And plus, I don't want to be in a fucking crowded place when there's a high rate of transmission. Massachusetts is not, well, it's not like New York bad, but like, we've got a good amount of cases. I think we have a couple dozen dead and like 3,000 cases or something like that. I haven't checked the numbers in a bit. So, I panicked by a little bit. I didn't buy anything like outrageous. 48 Pop-Tarts is probably outrageous, but it's a good deal, and it's lasted me a while. So then we kept working from home, and then we worked through the next week as well. So I should clarify. I was at first working just from my laptop, and I do a lot of reports for some of the games we work on. Just like, how much money is it making? What are players saying? Or like, what are the biggest problems with it? And what are the daily active users and stuff like that? Now, I'm not going to go into more detail about the games or the company I work for, because now people have a lot more time to watch YouTube. Keeping this job, no way. So, but I can go a little bit in the job, I guess. But so, working from my laptop to do those reports sucked, because I usually have laptop, monitor, like my battle station, like beep, 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 beep. Time to hack. So yeah, that was a little rough, but the rest of the work, not that bad, honestly. I worked like right here. I just worked on my couch. It was neat. And then eventually, I think like after a week or two, they were like, hey, we're going to be doing this for a while. You have these time frames to go to the office and grab whatever you need. So I went and grabbed my monitors, grabbed all the cords and stuff, and I was like, I'm just going to prepare to be here for a while. And I set up a second little desk. I had my shitty first desk that I bought when I moved here, that I was previously using as a table. I just moved out of here, put it against the window, put the monitors in the window, put everything else on the desk, because it's a tiny fucking desk and it's bullshit. But yeah, I did that, and I have 2 stations set up. I have my workstation, and then I have my regular computer set up, which you're like, Nick, why can't you just use your regular computer? I'm like, because I got confidential fucking files, and they don't want that shit on my computer. And vice versa. I don't want my company to have access to my vast terabyte collection, zettabyte really, of porn. No. So, actually, someone pointed this out to me, and I'm not happy with it because it's really an indictment on me. But I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monitors in my apartment, all belong to me. And that might be an issue. So we're going to blow past that. But, it's a thing. It exists. But yeah. So working from home wasn't too hard for me. Other people I work with are taking it kind of rough. Like, they're having trouble getting used to it, like, not comfortable and stuff like that. And it's like, I get it to an extent, but like, here's the problem. It really wasn't that hard for me to adapt to staying home. Like, it's what I did anyway. The difference is that in this time of social isolation, when you would think we would be at our most cut off and our most alone, I have the opposite, where people won't leave me the fuck alone. Because I have I have, between my roommates being home 24/7 now, to half my friends every night saying, do you want to jump on a Zoom call? Do you want to talk? Do you want to play this game tonight? You want to do this? Do you want to record? Who could be the do you want to record thing? It's Carlos. And I love all of them. Genuinely. I love my friends. I know how fucking annoying and privileged of a problem that sounds. Where it's like, oh, my friends want to hang out with me. It's so tough. Oh my god, I'm so popular. Ugh, it's so hard being me. It is when you really, really need time to recharge and be alone, and you can't get it. I can't. And it's getting to me. Like, I'm at work for 9 hours. I'm not in calls all of them, but I'm in calls at least half to 3/4 of them. So I'm constantly talking to people. Again, my roommate's constantly there. No fault of their own. They have to, they're here too. And like friends are just like, hey, I'm kind of lonely. Do you want to talk? I'm like, sure, happy to do it. And I'm just like, I just want some time to myself, please. I'm so tired. I'm so socially exhausted in this time of social isolation. You learn who your friends are, and it turns out my friends like me for some reason, and I wish they didn't. So it's just been rough for me in that way. And again, I know how privileged of a problem that sounds, but it's getting to me. And it's like, I'm not to say I don't want my friends to keep wanting to hang out. It's just I want them to understand when I go, I can't. I need to just be alone. I need to play video games alone. I have so many single player games. I have so much anime to watch. So that's been the bulk of it. This past week was kind of busy because we had our normal projects we had to do, and the games are busier. And it was just like a busy week, and like every night someone else wanted to hang out or like talk, and I was just like, I really need to recharge these batteries. I do. I didn't really get the option until today, really. And even then, I'm just like, it's not enough. So yeah, it's been a time. So, right, that's the bulk of how Corona's been affecting me. I will level with you. I had recorded a different video. That was about 20 minutes long explaining this, and then I realized it didn't hit record because my wireless mouse, my wireless keyboard, can't work with the wireless receiver that's approximately 2 feet away from here. But there's a door here. Obviously, signals don't go through doors. That'd be crazy. What kind of wireless technology could do that? Madness. And it didn't actually click when I hit record. So, yeah. So I'm a little like I've repeated myself, and I don't know what I've already said and stuff like that. So we're at a weird spot. But yeah, that's my tales of Corona. Honestly, oh no, shit, I'm forgetting the biggest part. Not biggest, but one of the biggest. So, working from home for 2 weeks now, and then on that Friday, my tooth just breaks. So, you may remember when I went and had my tooth pulled, this one, back in like September or October, they were like, hey, just so you know, there's another one on the other side of your mouth that's going to have to go. And it didn't hurt at the time, so I was like, that's Future Nick's problem. I am Future Nick. It was my problem. So it hurt, and it broke on a Friday because of fucking course it did. I don't know if you knew this. Dentists are a luxury, which means they don't have to open on weekends, which is some fucking bullshit. But so I went through the whole weekend just going, ow, taking 8 to 10 Excedrin a day, which is above the recommended dose, and yeah, it was not good. I was very concerned about my other health because I was trying so hard to dull the pain, and even the Excedrin wasn't really working. So I went on Monday immediately. There was so I go to a chain dentist. I'm not going to name which one because I'm about to tell you why. Because there's one really close to me, and it was like within not walking distance, but less than 5-minute drive. So I get there, and I checked the website ahead of time, and they were like, hey, due to Corona-19, we just want you guys to take some extra COVID-19, want you to take some extra precautions. Hey, don't come unless you have an appointment or it's an emergency. Don't show up early to your appointment and stuff. It's like, okay, nothing's saying, hey, we're closed. Get to the door, and they go, hey, we're closed. There's a big note on there, and it's dark inside. I'm like, fuck all of this. So, they listened to emergency number, and I was like, because I hate admitting it. I'm like, yeah, it's an emergency. So I call them, and they're like, okay, input your zip code to get to the nearest, so we can hook you up with the nearest open place. And I was like, cool. I did that. And then they connected me to the place that was literally in the parking lot directly in front of. And I was like, God fucking damn it. And they were like, hey, if you have an emergency, call the emergency line. And they just went and formed a fucking circle, or in this case, an Ouroboros. And I hated it. I was just so mad. I wanted to throw my phone through their fucking window. But I didn't. And so, like, when I got back to the emergency number again, instead of when it said, put in your zip code, I just didn't do anything. And they were like, the location you've inputted is 200 plus miles from our nearest location. We're going to put you into contact with an agent. I'm like, sure. I mean, you're wrong. I didn't put in a zip code. Yeah, you know what? Sure. I'm not going to argue. So I connected to a place, and I ended up going to a place that was like on the other side of Boston. And I was like, I don't want to go there. But I had to because reasons. So I go there. Or I called ahead, and they were like, yeah, we got this appointment. And it was like 3 hours later. So I went home for like an hour, and then I went. They were like half an hour to an hour late getting to me, which of course they are. That's how every doctor / dentist appointment has ever been with me. I've literally never gone to a doctor, and it's been like 10, and they're like, at 10, they're like, hey, let's get that doctoring going. No, it's always like fucking way late. So I get there, and I'm like, hey, I need an extraction. They're like, we'll be the judge of that. And then after like 3 tests, they're like, okay, so we'd like to perform a root canal. I was like, just pull it. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, get it out of my head. I don't want to do a root canal either. Nobody got time for that. And also, I just don't want a root canal. So I've had one. They're awful. So they pull it. This one was kind of rough. I don't remember this one in September or October being that bad. I remember the recovery not being that bad either. This was different. It hurt getting pulled to an extent. Like it was just like just as they're grabbing it, it was like a lot of pain. But like as soon as it was out, it like dulled a little bit, but not all the way, just a little bit. And there was like a fuck ton of Novocaine in me. Like I've gotten to the point where like, because of my high substance tolerance, whether that be alcohol, drugs, Novocaine, I just straight up told them, I was like, I am an elephant. It takes a lot to get me to feel numb. I'm letting you know that ahead of time. And they're like, okay. So they stuck me about 15 times. If you're afraid of needles, sorry, but I'm not. I'm just sort of like, eh. So like I didn't really feel it until the end of the day, and I still worked that day. So the plan was I was going to take a vacation that week anyway, and then this happened. So my vacation went from a vacation to 4 days of sick time, which was not ideal, but yeah. So like I finished the rest of my day. I did all my reports, and I like banged them out. Like, truth be told, I can admit this now. I'm supposed to look at a certain amount of contacts a week for these reports. I may have like, instead of looking at 100, maybe looked at 50. It's still fine. It's still a good sample size. Like I didn't like shirk my job or anything, but I was like, I wasn't as thorough as I normally am. And that was a couple weeks ago. So clearly everything was fine. But yeah, I did that, stayed a little bit late, and I was just like, done. And then my days off started, and my days off weren't great because I could talk, like it was no issue. I didn't want to, so I got this one pulled. You're not going to be able to see it, but what basically happened was that my wisdom teeth on this side never got taken out, so my teeth and my wisdom tooth grew in and just like pushed all the teeth together. And eventually this was the tooth that was just like, I can't do it anymore, guys. I can't. And like both teeth from the other side just fucking like stabbed into it and were like cracking it apart. And so when they got pulled out, it hurt because all my teeth were like kind of falling into place and the hole in my mouth was closing. So, this is the difference from what happened last time. So last time, they got it pulled and like a blood clot started forming, which is normal. That's like what's supposed to happen. And they put stitches over it and kept it in place. They're like, okay, no drinking your straw, no smoking, nothing like that, doing a sucking motion. Like, I know what you're thinking. Can't suck all that dick I was going to suck. Luckily, I don't suck dick, so it wasn't an issue for me. It was really lucky for me. They didn't do that this time. There's no stitches, so I was like a little worried. I was like, am I going to get a dry socket? Because that would be really fucking painful, and I don't want that. I didn't, luckily, but I was like really cautious with it. And it hurt. So I spent, again, I kept my regimen of 8 to 10 Excedrin a day, which I didn't like doing, but I was also like, I want to not be in pain. And it would be really cool if they would just give me pain meds one of these days. Like, I've never had, like, prescription pain meds. Because I don't know if there's some black mark on my file from my mother. Putting something in my name to get pills for herself. But I've never had them, and it bothers me. Because I would like to not feel pain after a medical procedure. Call me crazy. So that eventually, it was kind of cool because like I would check it each day and like I could slowly look at like the two walls of my like gums closing in. They're still not fully closed, but they're like, it's like a zipper. It's like, burp, burp, burp. Like they kind of formed together as much as they could. So I'm not in pain anymore. I didn't really feel better until that Saturday. So those 4 days off were just fucking wash. And that kind of sucked. And then I got back to work. It was just a really busy work week, and I'm just really tired. And I didn't have as much time I wanted to record during my days off, and I was like, I couldn't. Like, I literally had dental surgery. Like, I can't talk. Like, I can, but I can't. Like, I shouldn't talk extendedly like I am right now. But that's over, so we'll see. If I'll get free time and don't feel exhausted, then I'd like to record more, but no promises. I'd like to. I enjoy this. But I also enjoy just quietly sitting and not saying a word for a day. But, you know, life's balances. That's mostly how it's affected me. I don't have like an update on, you know, that stimulus check that supposedly exists. Or anything else. But I'll probably do another one of these at some point once this progresses further. Or if I forgot anything, stuff like that. But yeah, just want to share how this has been going for me. And my experiences during this time. Please also share your experiences in the comments. If you're like, honestly, nothing's changed, let me know that, to be honest. I think I am going to do a separate video on GameStop. Because I've now quickly realized GameStop is not going to last this pandemic. Because, like, there's a part of me where it's like, okay, I'm going to do YouTube stuff. I probably shouldn't shit talk a major company just in case that backfires. GameStop's not a major company. They're garbage. And I've got some GameStop stories that I would really like to start telling. So, I'm going to start that, including their Corona response, which all I want to say about that for now is them declaring they're an essential business is laughable, obviously. But like, the GameStop subreddit is a special place. If you haven't been to r/GameStop, please go there. Because it's not what you think it would be. GameStop is not on the ball at all. The subreddit is not run by GameStop. It's run, like, voluntarily by GameStop workers. And it's just a place for workers to bitch and moan. It's fantastic. I learned about it when I worked at GameStop. So I knew that shit was happening a week before it happened. And I could see how badly they were, like, bungling this a week before it happened. I couldn't believe the story wasn't breaking sooner, to be honest. So, I'll talk a little bit about that next time. Again, leave how Corona's affected you. Negatively, positively, neutrally. Like, if nothing's changed, just let me know that. Honestly, sort of just want to make sure you guys are safe, because I care about you. So, this is me saying I'm safe, things are fine. Leave me alone. But things are fine. And, yeah, look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Catch you later.